This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Kicking off the week with more BS, dominating the headlines, Meghan Markle cropped out a Prince Harry's birthday photo shared by a royal family. Really? Is this really what we're talking about today after yesterday's second attempt on our former president's life? Come on. Don't you see what's happening here? Don't you see how Harry and Meghan are being used to distract all of us? I mean, seriously, of all things for Buckingham Palace to give a response on, this is what they choose to speak out about? That they did not crop Meghan out of Harry's birthday photo? Yeah, they did crop Meghan out of it, but they also cropped the woman to Harry's right out of it. I don't understand why this is such a big deal because this was Harry's birthday, not Meghan and Harry's birthday. So why bother give energy to putting out articles like this unless you're trying to distract away from other things, which is what I totally see is going on here. If Buckingham Palace is so interested in making statements, then answer the questions about the invisible children in the line of succession. Instead, you're responding to bullshit like this. And now the palace is insulting our intelligence because they truly do see us as stupid. Since the palace was so inclined to put out a statement, I think it would have been more respectable if they had just told the truth and said, yeah, the photo was cropped because it was Harry's birthday. It wasn't just cropping out Meghan Markle, but also cropping out everybody sitting at that table. At this point, I think the palace needs to grow a set of balls and stop tiptoeing around this woman. The royal family owe Meghan Markle nothing. I mean, what is going to happen at the end of the day? She's going to call them racist? I mean, that's already happened. And even if they continue to keep tiptoeing around her, people are still calling them racist. So why do they care? Why do they care if they hurt the feelings of Meghan Markle? Look what she has done to this family over the last 6 years. They owe her nothing. They don't have to be nice. They don't have to be polite. And they don't have to include her in anything. Now, I know that there's quite a few people who are in the media, like journalists, watching this channel. And if you're listening out there, I want you to know that you're no longer reporting the news and breaking news. In fact, you're one of the last sources now that are breaking news of things that the public already knows. Meghan Markle is a known bully. She also is a dictator and a nasty human being. How is it that now all of a sudden this is breaking news of Meghan being a dictator? I mean, we heard of this from the very beginning when she came into the family with her staff and all the staff that had left and the Sussex Survivors Club. That doesn't give you the indication that this woman is a tyrant. Now, all of a sudden, Hollywood Reporter is breaking this news as if this is the first that we've ever heard of Meghan Markle being a nasty human being. It's at the point when this stuff finally reaches mainstream media, it's stale. The public is bored and not interested because we've been here, done that, way before any journalist has. I think if journalists actually did their job and broke the news instead of reporting what they're being told by PR firms, then there would be a lot less independent journalists having to actually do the real work and get the truth out there to the public. And that's why they hate so many of us independent voices, is because we are not controlled by all these other entities. And we all know that this is the main reason why there's such a push globally for censorship. Now, this is a little bit of a rant, but these elitist parasites not only are irritating, but highly annoying, and not for nothing, the biggest hypocrites in the entire world. I don't care how much money these people have or how much PR they put out. I have zero respect for anyone who is in the same circle with Meghan Markle. This headline is laughable. Meghan Markle's next chapter as a self-help author? Come on now. This woman is known to be an abuser. How is she going to write a book on self-help? But also, what's disappointing here is how Royal's bookstore appearance revealed intriguing connections to guru Brené Brown, who's loved by Oprah. Now, Brené Brown, she has a name for herself that has not been tainted by Meghan Markle's until now. And that causes me to dig further. And sure enough, she's connected to the same ilk as these people, which leads me to believe that she's no better than the rest of these people trying to make money off of exploiting people's mental health and psychologically manipulating them. In my opinion, this woman is no better than Harry and Meghan and is a complete sellout because who does she decide to partner up with? At the end of June this year, BetterUp's latest scam is this new partnership with Brene Brown. And when you look at her website and you read about this new partnership, you realize that she too is all a part of this globalism and one world government. She writes here, like all leaders, I have been working to understand how to meet this once in a lifetime moment of sweeping global change. I started searching for a partner who shares our values and is bravely innovating at the intersection of technology and human transformation, aka psychological manipulation and brainwashing, combined with a bit of AI and predictive analytics. And this is all designed to control and dictate people's behavior. Keep in mind that BetterUp predominantly targets executive leadership in corporations and selling it as a platform to motivate their employees to be the best employee that they can, giving them purpose. So, according to Brene Brown, this partnership with BetterUp is launching this Daring Leadership Institute. And they say it's a first of its kind integration that brings empirically based courage building curriculum together with BetterUp's human transformation platform. Now, the one thing, hopefully, that you're starting to recognize is the language that the liberal, progressive extremists like Meghan and Harry and these wokey folk in California like to use when they're discussing this utopia of socialism, communism, fascist state that they are building here for all of us. In Brene Brown's description of what this program is about, listen to how familiar these terms sound and recognize that this is not what they mean, right? So she's saying, as new technologies, chronic uncertainty, and ever shifting markets continue to reshape industries and redefine the future of work, we need to develop skills, mindsets, tool sets, and systems that support feedback cultures, reward critical and anticipatory thinking, and foster deep collaboration and inclusivity. So, when they bring in mindsets, developing mindsets, meaning changing the way that you think, they're going to provide a reward system to force behavior. I don't like when I hear things like this because you know that this is all about pushing people in a direction that's brainwashing, essentially. They're going to reward behavior or penalize behavior. That's what this management system does for managers and executives in order to get people in line. Remember, the majority of these globalists are the CEOs and executives of these very powerful companies. These are the people who are actually ruling the world at this moment and calling elections. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction here that it won't be too long before BetterUp starts infiltrating not only the universities, but also the US school systems to start indoctrinating people into this new so called mindset. The mindset of selling your soul to a company, making people think that your purpose is to be working for whatever it is that BetterUp is doing or whatever other companies are doing. Now, if you can control the mind and control behavior, essentially you have created your slave. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Essentially, here's how they want to change people's mindset on the abuse that's going on in the corporate world. Additionally, we need to embrace new and uncomfortable ways of working that will feel paradoxical in many ways. In other words, they're going to teach you how to shut up, do your work, and don't complain. Like learning how to be both very focused and very agile, how to move with urgency and thoughtfulness, how to lead by excavating the unsaid rather than expending energy working around it. Now, if you notice, that's code for how to fire people without getting sued. Our new collaboration will allow us to bring these skill and mindset transformations to organizations in measurable and meaningful ways. It's a game changer. Now, here is why I see using these types of AI tools being problematic. So, let's say an employee is working at a company and they use this BetterUp crap in order to keep track of this employee from their behavior. So, the things that they're saying to their managers, what they're writing in their email, they could very well use predictive analytics to say, you know what, this employee is not a team player. They are not following down or drinking the Kool-Aid per se. And in the next round of layoffs that we have, this person needs to go. And I do believe to some extent they're doing that today with employees at major large corporations. If you're not in line with the culture or selling your soul to doing whatever these companies want you to do, and in the surveillance, if you're not complying, then they could subject you to re education courses, something that companies very well do. And I know this for a fact because that happened to me when the abuse that I was being subjected to was going on in this corporation, large corporation that I was a part of. All these people and companies have one goal in mind, and that is to make money. They don't care about the employee. They just want to be able to squeeze as much out of their employee as possible to maximize on their investment in you. Hence the reason why they're paying you a salary and promising you all the benefits that you were sold on before you join. Now, when we talk about BetterUp as a company, it's been a while since we have visited what has been going on there. We know that there has been a lot of internal frustration with the employees, and quite frankly, they all hate the CEO, Alexei Robichaux, or I like to call him Alex Robichaux. His popularity is on a steady decline, and it's clear that his employees hate him. Here's what some of the most recent reviews have said on Glassdoor. X's across the board. Pros, great compensation, some high integrity employees, the mission to help others. But the cons say, too many to name, fascist and narcissistic CEO, leadership trickling down to my manager, painful, gaslighting, lack of leadership and strategic focus, on and on. Advice to management? Grow up. Now, the next one, July 24th, 2024, gets a 5-star where it says, incredible place to work, senior consultant, current employee, more than 3 years. They recommend and they give the CEO approval, but no check in the business outlook, which is interesting. The pros, great mission, great people, outstanding personal and professional growth. Cons, it takes a bit to learn your way around. Now, here is why I call BS on this, and this was probably done by HR in order to help keep Alex Robichaux's score from not going down further. If you were working at a place and it was so excellent and awesome, do you think that this was all you would write in filling out a form like this? I mean, really, what's so awesome about this company? Great mission, great people, outstanding personal and professional growth. I mean, that sounds so generic. So I truly believe that this is an inauthentic review put in by HR in order to keep the score from not tanking further. Because after this, it's all negative reviews. The next review, dated July 29, 2024, 1 star, awful, X's across the board. Pros, great pay and even better colleagues. Cons, awful and toxic work environment. Dated August 7, 2024, 1 star, burnout culture. They get 2 X's. Apparently, they hate the CEO, but the business outlook is positive. So, some of the pros says lovely customers, incredible coaches, great product, competitive pay, and Brene is their only hope. So, this is after it was announced this institute was being set up. Now, for the cons, it says work around the clock is required. People are so burnt out, and leadership just keeps requiring more, better, and doesn't practice what they're selling to the marketplace. They drive you to the ground and expect you to sacrifice your own life and family time. They talk like they nurture this in their people, but it's a lie. They celebrate and then seconds later tell you everyone needs to constantly upskill and do better. You always feel like your best work isn't good enough. Sounds like exactly what I was telling you earlier. They want to condition employees to give their souls to the workplace, to give all their time, leaving no time for you to be an individual or spend time with your family. This is what these people do. And this psychological manipulation here in whether it making you feel bad that you're the only one who's not working while everyone else is slaving away. I mean, truly toxic. This person's advice to management goes on to say people aren't as happy as they talk. Model a healthier way of working. Sad that so many leaders have young kids at home and keep traveling, and work. The workload is not manageable, and the secret talk among employees is extreme burnout. People said if it was easier to get a job in the market right now, they would have left a long time ago. BetterUp will cause you to no longer like yourself. I was so joyful when I started, and I've completely lost myself, and they don't care. They just tell you to take ownership and do fake teamwork questions to appear like it's good leadership. But people are just faking it back to not lose their jobs. Some of the best performers are super stressed and unhappy. A fun, and I don't know what FKO stands for, made people feel more connected, but that's because they wanted to see their peers, but most are hoping to find a way out. Follow our own research of what needs to be nurtured to unlock peak performance. You're doing this so ineffectively. I hope Brené can develop our leaders to genuinely care. No, I doubt that she's going to be able to do anything to change that. I mean, she's part of this club, and that's what these employees don't get. This false hope in this woman. Honestly, at the end of the day, they don't care about the employees. What they want is to make sure that the employees are maximized to the utmost productivity so they can return on their investment in their people. Not investment in their people to help them grow, but investment monetarily wise. At the end of the day, this is always about profit. Brene Brown is not doing this out of the kindness of her heart. I guarantee BetterUp paid her a lot of money to partner with them. This next review is brutal. Dated August 14, 2024. 1 star. Disgraceful. X's across the board. Pros? None. I was going to say coworkers, but most have become hypocrites and are only at BetterUp to continue to receive their paycheck. Now for the cons. One word, fraud. Are you sure Meghan Markle's not working there? Anyhow, their existence is based on lies, no moral compass, and an elitist club of leaders, if you can even call them that lack self-awareness. Yeah, I ask, are you sure Meghan Markle is not running a division there or something? They inflate data to tell a compelling story when they go to market and expect sellers to sell the dream at the cost of anything. It's been over 8 quarters that they haven't hit their revenue goals, and rather than searching within themselves to determine what's not working and hold themselves accountable, leaders blame I want to say coaches, and gaslight any situation to blame others for their shortcomings. I can go on and on and on about how BetterUp has destroyed versus improved their employees' life. And to my mere shock when I learned the partnership between Brene Brown and BetterUp. Either she didn't know Glassdoor existed, or she simply agreed to partner with them because of the compensation they offered her. Such a shame. I hope BetterUp clients take the time and become more responsible buyers. The company is only going backwards and bankrupt, and they have no one to blame but themselves. Advice to management? Quit and allow the right leaders to join this company. If not, you're going to burn this company to the ground. It's almost there. Oh, I believe it. I believe that for sure. This review goes to show how full of themselves these tech bros are out in Silicon Valley. Now, remember, Prince Harry had revealed that now he's going to be launching a BetterUp life coaching university. I'm assuming that it's going to be a part of this institute that's being created with Brene Brown. But what a joke it is, especially since the employees hate the company itself and the leadership. Imagine the reviews that are going to come in if Prince Harry really does indeed launch this so-called coaching university. I mean, everything about this company is such a joke. You have to wonder, do they even care about what people are saying because they have the backing of so many powerful people, as well as the government. The US government has given contracts to BetterUp. That piece of business itself, to me, is concerning. I don't trust Harry for nothing, and I would like for him to stay far away from our military. Who's to say that he hasn't gotten confidential information from our military and selling it off to our enemies like China and Russia? I wouldn't put it past him. He'll do anything to make a quick buck. He has no loyalty to anyone but himself. I think one of the things that we don't think about is that if this guy could sell out his own family, then, just think about what he will do to America. And this is why I keep sounding like a broken record when I say Congress needs to call Harry to Capitol Hill to answer about how he knew about January 6th. Especially since he has these special relationships with our three-letter agencies, as well as a whole bot network that is responsible for a lot of hate online. Who's to say that they weren't a part of that incitement that day? But I digress. Let's finish up this video with one more review and close off this video. August 16th, 2024, 1 star, where people dry up and shrivel. X's across the board. Pros, some incredible team members who are insanely smart and great to work with. The cons. I'm not saying this figuratively. Literally, everyone at BetterUp hates their job. No one hits quota, and Alexei and his attack dog, Eddie, blame the people. Everyone is trying so hard, and the amount of whiplash is ruining lives. Seriously, ruining lives. The company valuation is massively upside down, and there is no rainbow, let alone a pot of gold at the end of it for anyone but Alexei and Eddie. Both took chips off the table in the last raise, so they are good. Everyone else? Working for their base. This place is pure, unmitigated misery. Boy. When I read these, I do get sad when I hear how abusive these people are to the employees, because I know what that is like. I was in an environment where this misery truly did eat away your entire being as to who you are, to a point where, it really did affect me. And the reason why I read them out is because their voices need to be heard. And people need to know that these people are not good people in how they treat their employees and what they are doing, essentially, to enslave everyone. The job market right now is bad, despite what the current administration is lying to the American people about. Yes, there's jobs out there, but those jobs are going to the illegal migrants that are coming in here. And those jobs include delivering food, working on farms, working in factories. A lot of the jobs that require university education and traditionally seen as middle class are very difficult now in this current climate that we're in. And that's because of how these companies are trying to do more with less and using AI and technology to reduce overhead, which would be human bodies, because they want to make more money. I totally understand this fear of people not wanting to leave and staying in a job because they need the paycheck. But what people need to realize is that they shouldn't be afraid to leave a place where they are mentally being abused and it's taking away from your physical health. If I could rewind and go back to the moment where I wanted to leave, I should have left and not looked back. And, you learn from it. And all I can say is you need to put your health, yourself, and your family first above all of these greedy little soul-sucking assholes and get out of there. It's easier said than done, and I get that. But here's the thing. It can be done, and I'm living proof of it. You just got to have faith and motivation. And one thing is for sure, God will never leave your side and leave you behind. He will always find a way for you. And that is exactly what I have experienced. So lean into that. If you put that first, everything else will fall into place. I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this video on a lighter note with posting a sugar who wants the world to believe that Meghan was with Archie and they cropped him out of the photo to protect his privacy. So now we've gotten to a point where Meghan was allegedly walking with Archie, but because of protecting his privacy, they cropped him out. And how we know this is because of the little hairs that are sticking out at the bottom of this photo. Look, you just can't make up the idiocy of these people. Like, they truly do feel that the public is stupid and will believe anything. Well, maybe the sugars will, because they're so stupid and they believe everything that comes out of the mouth of this deranged lunatic. But now they want us to believe that that's Archie at the bottom. Archie's 5 years old and he's already up to Meghan's almost shoulder. Get out of here. Like, they really are taking the public for fools. It's only a matter of time, folks, before we start seeing videos of these two invisible children. And most likely they will be digitally manipulated, just like what we saw with Meghan's childhood videos. So be on the lookout for that. It's safe to assume at this point everything has been one giant lie, and we know that. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about this BetterUp situation? Do you see that this is also a fraud? I mean, the hypocrisy is off the charts with these people, but I'd love to know your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
It was such a fraud.